Hello everybody, and welcome to a book talk. This one is for Pyrophobia. This was written by Jack Lance. I read this one via ebook, hence why you are seeing an image of it. This is a standalone and it is a horror novel, and it was published in 2025. Now when I read this book, there was no audiobook available. In fact, let's go ahead and pull up real quick on, I'm just going to check on Everand and Audible to see if it is now available. Okay, the ebook for Pyrophobia is available as of filming this on September 4th. The ebook is available on Audible, but there is no audiobook. Or not Audible, excuse me, Everand. Now, let's go to Audible, because sometimes if something's not on Everand, sometimes it is on Audible. And the answer is no. As of September 4th, there is still no audiobook available, at least on the platforms that I listen to audiobooks. For the most part, this book is set in California, and we are following the perspective of Jason. It is told in third person. Jason is an advertiser. What the heck is an advertiser? An advertiser. Okay. He, one day at the end of his shift, he is given an envelope, and inside this envelope is a picture. And they're kind of like graveside pictures. So they're not pictures of him, they're of graves. And then there's a message along the lines of either you are not alive or you're really dead, that type of a thing. And so he's trying to figure out, is someone messing with him? Is this some kind of paranormal activity? Is this someone just playing a joke as far as just messing with him? Or is someone trying to give him hints that he is not who he thinks he is? For example, reincarnation is mentioned in the book. Or is this along the lines of a threat? Is someone saying you're not dead and you will, or you're not alive and you will be dead, and they're actually threatening their lives? Jason is married and his wife's name is Kayla. Kayla was in a relationship before, and when it comes to the thought of a spouse dying for her or a partner, it triggers a lot of emotional upheaval and distress for her. She has gone through something like that before. You will learn more about that when you read the book. So with these Polaroids, he doesn't want to worry her, but she does end up finding out. And obviously that creates a lot of upheaval for her as well. So Jason is on a hunt to try to find out what the heck is going on. Who is sending these pictures? What is the actual meaning behind these? To the point that these start to encompass every waking thought. He has nightmares about this. The title of the book, Pyrophobia, which is a fear of fire. Jason does have a fear of fire, and that does come into play in the book as far as him trying to figure out when it started, why does he have this fear of fire, things like that. But he is just on this hunt to find out who is sending him these pictures and trying to figure out if it's just a joke, again, or more like a threat. Kayla is helping him as much as she can. Again, going through the thought of losing a partner is very upsetting to her, to the point that it can be very debilitating. So Jason's trying to figure things out. Obviously with a horror, there are things that are revealed. And there are some people who you meet along the way that either have different intentions than what were said, or they are different than who they said, or basically lies are finally revealed. There's always lies. I have yet to read a horror book where there's absolutely no lies when it comes to the human characters. So, yeah. So, as far as the horror, in my personal opinion, I would say it's more thriller mystery rather than horror, but it is tagged as a horror, but I think it's more leaning towards mystery thriller. Okay, so please just be aware of that. So that's what the book is about in a nutshell. I really don't want to say anything because these genres, horror, mystery, and thriller, are always best going in knowing as little as possible. So that's pretty much all I want to say. There is mention of going to Utah, and I can't remember if it's Nevada or Arizona as well, but basically it's like he lives in California right now, and then he's going to go visit somewhere and has to go through Utah to get someplace, something like that. So I did like that. I like it when Utah comes up because that's my home state. That's where I live, is in Utah. And so I do like it when Utah comes up in books. It just kind of tickles me a little bit, just makes me go, oh yay, Utah's in there. So anyway, so it is in there. So, okay, so that's what the book is about. He's just trying to figure out the reason behind these Polaroids and what the message is. So what are your content and your trigger warnings? You have an affair talked about. You have lung cancer mentioned, as well as the death of a partner or death of a parent, abduction, lung cancer specific, but then cancer in general is also mentioned. You also have suicide depicted and talked about quite a bit on page. And then always, this is the other thing that can be very triggering to some people, and I totally understand this, but asking a married couple, when are you planning on having a baby? It's really no one's business but the married couple. You know, it's like, when's the baby coming? When are you going to have a baby? So yeah, so that pestering from family or people that may mean well, or they think they mean well, that is in there. Okay, you also have self-harm. You have not great relationship, like doctor-patient, but the patient is, I believe they were underage. I kind of got a little confused with that. I'm pretty sure they were underage and that, so cautious with that. I have had an personal experience with that, so that part made me very uncomfortable, where I did have a doctor take advantage of me when I was like, what, 9 years old? So that aspect makes me uncomfortable, but I know it's made up and I was able to get through it, and it was just a very small portion in it, so like maybe a paragraph's worth. You also have the mention of a miscarriage and death of a baby. Okay, as far as representation, you have depression, you have death of young people talked about. Well, and depression could be could also be a content warning. Death of young people, like those under 40, talking a lot about that, a lot of emphasis on that. That's not representation, that is a content warning. Your actual representation could be the depression, and schizophrenia is mentioned as well. So you do have a little bit of mental health representation. So that's your representation, your content, and what the book is about. As far as other representation, it's going to be up to your imagination. It does not delve into racial diversity or sexual diversity, anything like that. As far as how you identify, it does not delve into that. So that's going to be pretty much just all up to your imagination. So in case you're still on the fence going, okay, it sounds intriguing, let's tell you what the words are, so that you know if this passes your level of tolerance, and then you know to avoid the book or to go ahead and pick it up. We have the word God that comes up 18 times, not in a religious context. Damn, 9. The name Christ twice, not religiously. Fuck twice. The word God 11 times in a religious context. Lord twice, not religiously. Hard once. Screw twice. Breast 4. The name Jesus 7 times, not in a religious context. You have the word hell 12. Seed 2. Lord once in a religious context. The name Jesus twice in a religious context. Hellish 3 times. The word rape 3 times. Bastard 3. Shit 3. Damn it 4. Nipple once. Thrust once. And then I have written down the word God, but like a Native American God, 1 time. Bullshit once. Ass once. Abortion once. Son of a bitch once. Ass once. Did I say that? If I did, there it is again. And the word suicide 5 times. But again, suicide is brought up more than the 5 times. Sometimes they just talk about someone killing themselves or finding someone dead by their own hand. So there's different terminology that's used, but the actual word suicide is only used the 5 times in the book. So please be aware, there's always a chance I could have missed one, so there's always a chance these tallies could go up just like, a couple little ticks, but other than that, that is the content warning as far as the word usage goes. Let me know if you have read Pyrophobia. Now I'm going to pull this up on Goodreads. Okay, so the author, Jack Lance, The author does have other books out, and I don't see anything that's about the author. A lot of these books are words that I can't even pronounce, and so I'm thinking, except for zone and everything else, like I think the one that says Hellevanger, Vorgist, I don't like, it looks like it's in a different language, so I'm wondering if Jack Lance, if things are, oh, okay, here we go. Haha. Jack Lance is a Dutch suspense author, and the name Jack Lance is a pseudonym for Ron, last name P-U-Y-N. He has published several mystery thrillers and short horror story collections. So, I think then that Pyrophobia was translated from Dutch, but Goodreads is not listing who the translator is. Neither in the book description or author bio or anything. It's not listing the translator. So it'd be nice to know who the translator was, but it is what it is. So let me know if you've read this or anything else by Jack Lance. And with that little author bio that I just said, was like, right, it's mostly mystery thriller. That confirms to me that Pyrophobia is more on the mystery thriller end rather than horror, in my opinion. So yeah, let me know if you've read this or anything else by the author. Is this something that you're inclined to pick up, or knowing what is in the book, are you going to give it a pass? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.